Okay, it's Monday, the 1st of June, first trading day of June. Starting the week, just having a quick look at the weekly, how it ended up. And we've had this series of lower highs, lower lows for the past 5 or 6 weeks. And last week ended up a relatively bullish week. It swept this low from back of the 30th of March. And it'll be interesting to see now, is price going to start moving back up, or are we going sideways, or are we going to continue down to this low here? Going to the daily. Looks like the easiest thing in the world when you see that Thursday's was a sweep of all of the lows and previous lows back here, and then price moved up. But most of this move was just in about 2 hours in New York. So I didn't actually get a trade on Friday after catching a really nice move down in Asia on Thursday, but that's just the way it goes. But Friday came up and swept these two daily highs up here and closed back inside those highs. So you have to sort of think, okay, well, we've got targets back up here now, but that's been swept, or are we going to come down and get the lows first before we move up, or just keep moving back down into Thursday's range? But at the moment, we've got a close above a previous day's high, so sort of tending towards, are we going to take a look at Friday's high again? Recap of Friday's trading. Really, the only thing for me in Asia was a move. We'll switch on the file lines now. There is just this explosion at the Shanghai Open, which are always hard to catch for me. I hadn't really seen any sort of hourly confirmation, but this was a nice trade up into the previous day's high. Went sideways for the next few hours and slowly sort of started to grind up, and then New York did most of the move, going up to these double highs up here and even tagging this high from, when was that? Way back in 19th of May, and sold off for the rest of the day on Friday, and now we have this quite large opening range to start with. So we'll start putting in some lines. I'll start with my New York zone. It's going to cover all of this. Quite a large playing field based on the move in New York. We don't need this one anymore, so I'll bring this up here. So I'll put in the point of control. Cool, I can switch that off now. So where are we? We are under a downsloping dynamic value line. We are inside the volume profile zone. One large 5-minute bar has set the entire range for today. And we're just got to wait for price to get out of that. The fire lines, we're right at the inflection point, sitting under the point of control. We have the lower value line down here. We can start removing some of these highs and lows, I think. Put in the previous day's low here. Get rid of these, have been swept now. Right, yeah, so I'll need to see an hourly close above this dynamic value line to perhaps for even just a scalp up to the point of control in the upper value line. Where can we close for sells? It's very close. We're sort of stuck between the upper value line and the lower value line, so I'm going to have to be a little bit patient this morning.